Hey, this is Kemi from PureKemistri.com, and today's video will be about getting deeper into your back bends. Now, this video will be geared more towards adults, or let's just say people who are 16 years and up. Now, that's kind of an arbitrary age, but the reason I say that is because I want to make a distinction between an adult body and a child's body. So a 4 or 5-year-old is going to be able to get deeper into their stretches with much less effort. However, an adult body requires a little bit more to get to the same level of flexibility. Two things that adults need that children typically don't need is more warm-up and 2, more tissue work. Adults tend to have way more muscle mass than children, as well as more dense tissue. So that could be fascial adhesions, muscle knots, things that come over time through the tension that we carry in our muscles and in our bodies. So with that being said, we want to address those issues in adults so that we can get deeper in our stretches. So I will focus on 3 parts of the body that really require special attention when wanting to get deeper into your back bends. First, there are 3 parts of the spine, but today we will focus on the thoracic spine. Now that is the second part of the spine. First is the cervical, there's the thoracic, and then there's the lumbar spine. So today we will focus on the thoracic spine, and the second area we will focus on are the shoulders. You really need to focus on your shoulder mobility in order to get deeper into your back bends. And the third area we'll focus on is your psoas muscle. Now, this muscle is a wonderful muscle because it is the muscle that connects the lower body to the upper body. And it holds a lot of tension. It really guards like our sacral area. What do they call it? The seat of the soul. So yeah, this muscle is very important. So we will address that as well. So let's get ready to dive in. So the first exercise that we're going to do is for the thoracic spine. And we're going to do some thoracic spinal rotations. And what we're going to do is sit back towards our heels, right? We're going to be on our hands like this. And we're going to lift one hand behind the head. Right now, this is my left. And I'm going to bring my elbow to my other hand and back up. I will do this 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, what you do on one side, you have to do the other, so we will switch and repeat the same on the other side. We'll also go and do it laying on the back. Now, this is a very common stretch, so you may have seen this before. We're going to put our knees to one side and rotate our back to the other side. We'll hold that and switch. Now, my back just popped, so yours might too. And you can do this a couple more times. And you want to have your back as flat on the floor as possible. You don't want to like lift up and go with this side. So you really want to try to keep this back and both shoulders on the floor while putting the knees to the other side. Now to increase it, if you want to open up the angle of your feet, you could do that, while again keeping both shoulders on the floor. open up the angle, this may give you more stretch. And done. Okay, so this next shoulder exercise is a stretch, and what we're gonna be focusing on is the technique, right? This is a stretch that you can do if you're just trying to mimic the movement, this one here, and it does nothing. Like you feel nothing, it's like, oh, I can do this all day. So we really wanna pay attention to the technique. So right now, I'm stretching my right shoulder, right? So I'm taking this right shoulder and I'm holding it with my left hand. Now, I am going to try to push my right hand, this hand of the shoulder that I'm stretching, and push it as far to the wall as I can. Now, what that does is it brings this shoulder forward like this. I'm exaggerating for the purposes of demonstration, but you want to keep this shoulder from going forward and keep the shoulder back towards this wall as well. So, what we're going to do is push this hand of the shoulder that we're stretching towards the wall, and at the same time push this shoulder back towards the wall. You should feel tension and stretch in that shoulder, and you want to hold that for about 10 to 20 seconds, and then you want to switch and do the same on the other side. So you want to push. Right now this is my left hand towards the wall without bringing the left shoulder forward. We want to keep it as much to the back wall as possible. And again, we will hold this for another 10 to 20 seconds. We're going to do another shoulder stretch, and it's kind of called, some people call it puppy pose. We're going to start off like here on our hands and knees, and then we're going to drop our bottoms back and extend our hands and try to put the chest on the floor. You should feel this in your shoulders. So this one is actually, you'll feel this in both your thoracic spine and in your shoulders, depending on how tight you are in each section. So again, we're going to start on all fours. Drop our bottom back to our heels, extend our hands forward, and try to place our chest on the floor. Hold for another 10 to 20 seconds and repeat. So to warm up these shoulders, we can use anything you have lying around. So right now I have a jump rope, and I'm going to shorten the jump rope like so, and I'm going to hold it both ends, and I'm going to bring my arms from front to back, and this will really get the blood flowing to the shoulders, and that's what we want. We want it to be nice and warm and lubricated before we do our deep back bends. So you can do about 10 of these if you'd like, and make sure you don't take the stretch out of your shoulders by arching your back. We want to keep nice posture and just put all the energy and attention into the shoulders. And you can adjust the width of your hands according to the tightness in your shoulders. If you are more tight, you might need to widen this grip like so. And if you are more flexible, then you can shorten the grip. Again, we'll go from front to back 10 times, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. Okay, so this next muscle that we're going to address is the psoas muscle. And again, the psoas muscle is a hip flexor. So it brings the leg to the stomach or to the chest. So in order to stretch it, we have to do the opposite move, and we will bring it backwards. So I'm going to stretch my left psoas by putting the knee behind me like this. Now, I am not going to arch because this takes the stretch out of here. It shortens the psoas muscle, and we want to lengthen it so that it can extend. Now, it depends on how flexible you are. If you're already feeling this here, then stay here. Again, this is a muscle that responds to fear and stress. So you don't want to push it or muscle it. You really want to relax and let go here while engaging and maintaining proper posture. So with that being said, just take deep breaths here, because again, the psoas is attached to the diaphragm via the fascial tissue. So you want to breathe slow and deep breaths and relax this muscle while engaging the glutes. So here's how you do that. This is me engaging the glute, and this is when I let go. You can see the difference. Now I'm going to engage again, and this is letting go. So you really want to engage the glute so that you can stretch the psoas muscle and get deeper. Now I'm going to stretch a little deeper into the pose. Again, I'm engaging my glutes and I'm maintaining posture, proper posture, by not arching my back, and I'm relaxing. In order to deepen this, you can extend backwards. And another way to deepen the stretch still is to add a lateral movement. So you're going to bring your arms up and you're going to stretch to the side of the leg that you have in front. This will deepen the stretch in the psoas muscle. Again, we're going to repeat the same thing to the opposite side. And now we're going to get into our back bends. So, in this case, we can start from the floor, and we're going to press up into our bridge position. And before we stretch up to our bridge position, we're going to mentally put our attention on the three areas that we just addressed. That's our thoracic spine, our shoulder muscles, and our psoas. So we're going to put our attention and focus on those areas while we're in the bridge position. While in the bridge, we're going to push our hips up towards the ceiling as much as possible. You will feel a stretch in the psoas muscle when you are pushing your hips up towards the ceiling. You will feel your shoulders and your thoracic spine. It's like your mid-back, your upper mid-back. And we're going to go in tighter. We can press up or we can come back down, however, but slowly. And you want to repeat that a good 3 times.